Baseball, an American pastime, was one of the first sports broadcasted on television in 1939. Although the quality wasn't great, fans were finally able to see their favorite teams compete without being in the stands. In the beginning, the game was only covered by one black and white camera along the third baseline. The quality was so low at times that the ball was hard to spot when it was hit or thrown. Slowly, television started to progress with 3 and then 4 cameras covering the game in the 1950s. Graphics were also implemented at this time as white text along the bottom of the screen. It wouldn't be until 1955 when the first World Series would be shown in color. The television era began to grow even more with the addition of an analysis to the broadcast instead of just the play-by-play announcer. Eventually, 5 cameras were covering the competition, including one in center field. Jumping ahead to 2002, in addition to the now 10 cameras that were covering a single game, individual networks were starting to televise baseball games exclusively.
Due to the great success of the New York Yankees in the late 90s and early 2000s, and the fact that the Yankees' television contract with MSG was ready to expire, there was a lot of debate about where the games would be televised in the future. Previously, in 1999, the Yankees and the New Jersey Nets of the NBA had merged their business operations into a company called Yankees Nets. This merger made it too difficult for an already existing station to be able to afford the rights to televise both Yankees and Nets games, so they decided to start their own network. In 2002, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network, or the YES Network, was created to give fans a place where all of the games, with the exception of a few nationally televised games, would be aired. The early success of the YES Network was immense and turned what was already the richest franchise in all of baseball into the sport's first billion-dollar organization. To try to keep up, many of the other franchises in baseball followed suit by either creating their own network like the Yankees did, or by buying ownership into an already existing network like the Mets did with SNY in New York in 2006, or like the Phillies did with Comcast Sportsnet in Philadelphia in 2007. Most recently, in 2008, the MLB Network was created as America's first network dedicated to showing professional baseball 24 hours a day.
After 59 years of televised baseball, the number of cameras and camera angles varied greatly, but in 1998 the biggest change in cameras occurred in baseball, the introduction to HD. During the 1998 season, NBC and the Lynn Television Corporation aired the first ever non-experimental HD TV game. This was the beginning of baseball's transition to HD games. Soon after, nearly all teams aired their games in HD. The biggest statement in this transition happened in October 2002 when Fox aired the first ever World Series baseball game in HD. Since that time period, HD TV has become the norm of televised baseball games. This change not only enhanced the original camera angles, but also the new camera angles. Even with better cameras, baseball's viewer ratings did not get a big kick. It actually declined rapidly. Baseball's decline can be attributed to other things rather than just the quality of aired games.
Well, the shift started in about the late 80s, early 90s, when football became much more popular. So baseball has had its steroid issues, it's had a lot of other issues, labor issues in particular. But I would say the main reason it's gone down the ladder in terms of popularity is the growth in the NFL.
Though the introduction of HD to baseball has not really had a positive effect on the number of viewers, it has received praise from those who do view it. So how could baseball improve ratings with HD already introduced?
I think any new technology that you add to baseball, or literally any sport, is something that everybody's going to look to. And there's going to be, I'm not going to call it a fad, but if 3D can make the on-air the picture more exciting, bring you closer to the action, and feel like you're part of it, I think every network is going to look to do that.
This is possibly the answer for baseball. In 2010, the YES Network aired the first 3D baseball game featuring the New York Yankees versus the Seattle Mariners. After a few innings of some glitches and difficulties, the technology finally began to work properly and the 3D game was on air. With the steroid issue and 3D still in its infancy, the future of baseball on television is very unsure. But one thing we are sure of is that if baseball is being played, there will be cameras around to see it.